How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have some things that you should know right now. We have a big event happening tomorrow. We have big events happening on Wednesday and Friday this week. We are seeing more liquidations right now in crypto. I'm away from the keyboard right now, and you might hear something in the background. It's the Bitcoin dog going crazy over on the couch. But we have more liquidations happening. Again, Bitcoin right around 112,000. We were rallying back up almost to 114,000. Now back down to 112 after that big shakeout earlier today. Ethereum also bleeding along with some other altcoins. We have more news on what happened earlier today and a couple of big events that are happening, like I said, later this week. If you don't mind, though, hit subscribe so you can see future videos like this. Also, check out BYDeFi. We have $22,000 in prizes that are going to be given away in about 2 weeks to traders that are using my link. And there's more money that's added to that all the time. You can actually trade crypto with crypto as well. So you can use their Coin M features. You can, for example, if you want to trade SUI, you can use SUI as collateral. Or Bitcoin, you can use Bitcoin as collateral, which allows you to accumulate more of those cryptos without even having to buy more. Or you can use USDT, but you can use leverage at times like this, key opportune times to get your hands on outsized gains. Now, Bitcoin took a big tumble earlier. Big, right? Big, like by today's standards. It was a $4,000 or $5,000 move. It wasn't a very short period of time. And at the time, there was really no news on this. It looked like a liquidation cascade was all that was happening because we had about $300 million worth of longs that were liquidated within about 5 minutes or so. But we got more news on it, what caused this to start. And we can still see exchanges and whales were manipulating the market. But we also saw a whale that had been holding for about 6 years that had dumped 24,000 Bitcoin. Rumor is the market sold it. So they just hit sell all and it dumped the price, starting to cause this liquidation cascade. And on top of that, we saw the exchanges play a role in this as well. So most likely exchanges realized, okay, someone just sold a lot. It dropped the price very quickly. We're going to add a little bit of fuel to the fire. So they maybe sold some as well, causing more and more liquidations. And then, they buy back in at a lower price and then they make that difference. So let's say they sell at 114 and then they buy back at 111,000, right? So they make that $3,000 spread, which just in a given day, a 3% win for them is massive when you're talking about millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. So that caused the liquidation cascade earlier. Now we're seeing more liquidations happening right now. Could be some more whale games, more whale manipulation, trying to flush out some more longs. The people that got very aggressive earlier, they thought we were just jumping right back up to where we were pre-liquidation. Could be some manipulators trying to cause people to freak out, thinking we're going to go even lower than earlier today. Now, I'm not too worried about this. I don't think anything has fundamentally changed in $110,000 support level. I still think with that holding, we're still flipping the prior resistance of 110,000 into support, which is extremely bullish. We do have a couple big events happening, and to be clear, even if we fall below that, I don't think anything has fundamentally changed for Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana long term. We are seeing a couple big events starting tomorrow. First of all, tomorrow we have the announcement of all the different companies that are buying Bitcoin and crypto, right? I would not be surprised to see BMNR, Tom Lee's company, announcing a big Ethereum buy. Maybe there's another one or two Ethereum companies that have freed up billions of dollars to buy Ethereum recently. So maybe some purchases there over the weekend, especially with the recent dip. We should also see Michael Saylor's strategy announcing their Bitcoin buy, along with a handful of other companies, maybe Metaplanet, etc. We also have the ETFs, BlackRock ETF, probably announcing a pretty big buy day because they're a day behind, and on Friday they showed a big outflow while all the other ETFs saw inflows. So most likely they're going to show an inflow. It's really Friday's inflow, but most likely going to show it tomorrow. We also have big news on Wednesday and Friday. So Wednesday we have NVIDIA, the biggest company in the world, announcing earnings. They're the quickest growing big tech company right now. And so far, all the other companies seem like they're going head on into AI. So most likely still spending tens of billions of dollars. We're seeing that from all the major tech companies spending like anywhere from $20 to $50 billion a quarter on their businesses in CapEx, a lot of that going to AI. So I would not be surprised to see another good quarter from NVIDIA. I think a lot of it will come down to guidance. Are they still guiding for good growth in the future? Or are they pulling guidance, that kind of thing? We have on Friday, PCE inflation. Now, I believe we still have CPI and PPI before the next Fed rate decision. So not the last time that we'll see any kind of inflation data, but this is right after Jerome Powell seemed pretty dovish on Friday. And a week from then, we're going to see the PCE data. This is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. And usually the Fed can see like a day or two into the future. I'm not sure they have a week's worth of data. So I'm sure the market will be watching this to see what comes out, right? And if it's hotter or cooler than expected, that will influence the Fed rate monitor tool, which analyzes what analysts are expecting in terms of rate cuts or hikes in the future. So right now, I think the market's looking fine, right? We are pretty much sideways for the futures, the stock market futures. The last time I looked, a little bit of manipulation coming from crypto, but nothing to be too concerned about, in my opinion. Bitcoin, like I said, above 110,000, still bullish. As long as we're above 100, I think you could still say, oh, well, we're seeing a higher low. Because we did go to about $97,000 just, a month or so ago, a couple months ago. A couple months ago, actually, now that I say that. Solana, still above 200, looking pretty bullish, setting higher highs and higher lows. Ethereum just hit a new all-time high earlier today. So facing a little bit of resistance above the prior high, but before 5,000. Could see some liquidations on the other side too, right? We've seen manipulation, we've seen long liquidations. We could see some short liquidations tomorrow, especially if there's some big buyers coming out or any kind of good news, right? We could always hear some tariff news as well, or any news from Trump. It's been a while since we've heard anything from BlackRock, like Larry Fink talking about crypto as well. So could see something like that as well at some point in the future. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if you placed any positions today, any long positions, any short positions. I've been here with the family, with the in-laws, and I have not traded much today, but we do still have that Ethereum long from about a week ago that we timed pretty perfectly at $4,150. Gotten a little bit before the $4,000 support just to make sure that we got in time. But yeah, that's still looking good even with us dipping right now. And then I have all my other positions. So I'm still levered long with Bitcoin, Solana, SUI, XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Again, you can check out BYDFi or BTCC, BitUniX, Weeks, or BLOFIN. I would suggest using multiple exchanges. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.